the first dashcam of its kind. It's called the X5, a 3-channel car DVR with touchscreen, a bunch of great features and very reasonable price from a new company called Wolfbox. Hyped already? So let's inspect. Just notice this design language. Definitely looks intriguing and somewhat reminds me of some of Van True models, but this is a totally different brand, a new one. It's called Wolfbox, and they already have one dash camera model, disguised as a rear view mirror. Seems to be quite a successful one, and this seems to be their first entirely standalone car DVR. 4K video resolution for the front unit, 3-channel setup and a lot of promising specifications. And my task here is to explore everything that you need to know in advance, whether you're about to buy it or just want to be in the loop about the latest kind of technologies. I'll be performing my usual kind of testing, a lot of examples, raw footage, side-by-side comparisons. As mentioned, everything you need to know about the Wolfbox X5. Let's begin. Daytime samples, they're actually interesting. The front module supports 4K, it is equipped with the famous Sony STARVIS Generation 2 with the IMX678 image sensor, probably the best that currently a dashcam can be equipped with. If you enjoy a lot what you see, it is perhaps thanks to the super vivid colors and the extra sharpening that Wolfbox apply to the footage. This usually helps people to identify more details, but I'm sure that might not be a desired setting for everyone who sees dashcams as an opportunity to make some travel vlogs. The dynamic range is excellent in most cases, and you can notice how some of the details are well visible at the end of the tunnel, something that would be visualized by other dash cameras just as a white spot. On a cloudy day, you may see some artifacts, but all in all, it's stellar performance thus far. The lens quality also seems to be good, because reflections from the sun are barely notable in my case. Of course, this is often impacted by the angle of installation and other factors. The rear camera is, hands down, among the best I've seen for a rear camera. Excellent balance between resolution and quality. The interior camera is also on the good side. Next, let's review some low-light footage examples. It's far more interesting to analyze. Look at that! The lights, the synergy between bright and dark areas on the screen, pretty sure it's the kind of evidence most of you want to watch this video about. Because if a dash camera would struggle, it will definitely be while it's night or really dark. Here we have a few contributing factors. A very wide open optics with aperture being f/1.7. It means that X5's front module belongs to the brightest out there. Don't forget that the Sony STARVIS 2 image sensor inside is famous for, namely, exceptional low-light performance. And last but not least, Wolfbox advertise the 3DNR technology used. It is a way to digitally reduce the noise and increase the clarity for low-light footage. The other 2 camera modules are doing pretty good too. The rear one is easily affected by other cars' headlights. This is of no surprise, but it retains a good amount of details and is a pleasant surprise. The interior module is equipped with infrared LEDs, which is the typical approach by most vendors, and still, at dark, it remains effective. So definitely a strong start, but we're here for the whole picture. Therefore, let's get to see the details about the design and the build quality as a next thing. This is the retail box, a nice pack indeed. Some good information to begin with, some weird slogans as well. The main module, rather big, a bit bigger than a GoPro. It hosts the front camera as well as the interior module. Here's the slot for the micro SD card, comes with a cover. The mounting mechanism allows you to adjust the angle, and there are some further refinements possible using the lens, which is also a good implementation for the tuning. The other half of the pack has the power adapter, which gives you an extra USB port for charging extra peripherals, the big and quite thick cable for the rear module, some mounting accessories and spare adhesives. A nice bonus is that besides having a quick release option, the mount also has such, and with a spare plate, you can easily keep another vehicle operation ready and simply swap the dash cameras in between when necessary. If you are a tech enthusiast, then definitely the list with the specs will sound intriguing. Besides the Sony STARVIS 2 image sensor mentioned, there's the powerful system-on-a-chip by Novatech, there's a bright lens deployed for the front module, supported are micro SD cards with storage up to 512 gigs, there is GPS in the power mount, a dual-band Wi-Fi, 2.35-inch display, super capacitor so that there's no need for battery, and a convenient-to-use smartphone app. The specs are definitely on the good side, and the fact that we are aware of the exact models of the system-on-a-chip and the image sensor helps us to determine that the advertised 4K out of the front unit is real, and that's really important. If there's something like a checklist about making a great dash camera in 2024, seems like Wolfbox are ticking or covering most of these aspects. Even further, because the field of view is a bit wider than what most competitors would provide, at 150 degrees that's really ultra-wide, and you can see from the footage that distortions are not too annoying even at the edges of the screen. So, this far, I'm pretty happy with what I see, but let us find out whether there's going to be something sketchy with the installation or the configuration or any of the remaining tests. The installation could have been easier. The front module is fine, in fact. Just pick a good area on the windshield, within the reach of the wipers and not obstructing your line of sight. Use one of the screen folios and all good. It's really convenient to be able to adjust the angle. And I remind you that the area of the lens also lets you do some further corrections. Of course, connecting the power requires creativity about finding an optimal hidden path to the car cigar lighter port. And everything looks nice and easy up until you have to deal with the rear module. Its cable, in particular. It is way too thick and could be that you struggle with installation in some of the areas. I succeeded in my case, a Peugeot car, but it was on the limit. There should be some good thinner options for sure. If there's a requirement to use parking mode, then it is a possibility, however, a hardwire kit is gonna be necessary. It's an optional product, and since I didn't get one, couldn't try the feature out, but from what I see in the configuration, a motion detection feature is actually missing, leaving the time-lapse your best option to avoid missing any accidents. Because with collision detection, it's usually too late whenever the camera starts recording. Speaking of configuration options, I loved the controls. A touch screen, which is really nice for initial configuration, but in most of the cases, you're gonna find the good old hardware buttons a lot more useful for navigating through the menus. Options are really a lot. There are a few video resolution choices. It makes sense to adjust only if you plan to not use the rear module. Novatech SoCs are famous for being generous about config, no different with the implementation on the X5. If you wonder whether the GPS is working, just navigate here and get to see everything. Don't forget that during the whole time, touch operations are also supported with this dash camera as well. If you feel that a smartphone app would be easier, well, it's a generic one, has good features, but not on par with the user experience that Garmin or Blackview would offer. Dual-band Wi-Fi hotspot is present, which makes transferring files wirelessly really fast. It's good to mention that there also is a desktop software letting you review the files and also the included metadata in these. Viewing the footage on a big screen makes good sense, especially about 4K footage. Sure, these intensive bitrates are rather demanding about storage because you can't use just any type of micro SD card. It's necessary to have U3 compliance in order to avoid complications. Audio test of the X5, and this is how the microphone performs. The speed is about close to 80 kilometers per hour. That's the quality of the microphone, and if you wonder why my face is in the darker part of the footage, and here we have this light spotted just because of the angle of the sunshine right now. And before the wrap up, let's fill in the traditional list with the drawbacks. As a starter, I'm not happy with the thickness of the USB cable, also the quality of the smartphone app, and the fact that the parking mode doesn't support motion detection. There's no ADAS support either. Still, nothing that is a true deal breaker. Quite the opposite, I'm really happy with the overall performance of X5 by Wolfbox. There are two topics I can't really discuss at the moment. The first one being the longevity of the product, because It's too early to say, apparently. Maybe you can check the comments below the video to get to know more in case somebody has shared. But based on the experience with their first model, the first dash camera disguised as a rear view mirror, we have really high expectations. As for the temperature handling, it's autumn already, so temperatures are a bit lower than what it used to be in the summer. I can't quite say how it performs when it's extremely hot, but given the fact there's no inbuilt battery and there's a supercapacitor instead, I would say the X5 is safe to use in areas with really extremely warm or hot climate conditions. But that's everything about this episode. Thank you very much for watching it. If you're curious to see what others have to say in regard to the X5, check the comment section below the video. And of course, if you have something to contribute with, you are totally invited to join in. I think the X5 by Wolfbox is a very good start and something you can easily trust, especially this price point, and seems to be a very good bang for the buck. Well, prove me right or wrong? You know, comments down below. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, help me out. Give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more cool tech inspections, and I, Michael, the Tech Mishka, wish you a wonderful day, drive safely. I guess I'm gonna see you soon. Bye!